Hi, and welcome to the Thriving and Surviving podcast. I'm your host, Amanda Markson, and I'm a mum, a wife, an entrepreneur, a coach, and most importantly, I'm someone that loves to make waves, break stigmas, and challenge beliefs. Think of this podcast as a wine and cheese night with your besties, sharing your deepest and darkest thoughts and struggles, but also learning a thing or two. So whether you're thriving or just surviving, this podcast is here to enlighten you, heighten you, and most certainly brighten you. So let's dive right in, and I'm so glad you're here. All right, we welcome to Thriving Surviving Podcast Season 4. So we actually remembered what we were actually supposed
We need
to
a
be
catchphrase.
recording.
Like, you know how Leo Skeppy goes, hey, hi and shit. Oh my God, you don't know Leo Skeppy. Sorry, I ruined your intro. Start again.
But look, welcome to Think of a Catchphrase. We remembered what we were planning on doing our other podcast about, and this is coming off the back of both of our last relationships not having the necessary compatibility boxes ticked. So we thought, what better strategy, game plan going forward is for us to actually put pen to paper and write down what our absolute non-negotiables are for relationship.
Which I think is going to be interesting because at the end of the day, I don't think it's going to be as clear as what we think it is. I think there's going to be contextual shit, and I think it's going to be hard to write down.
Maybe. So what we're planning on doing is having like absolute non-negotiables where like it's black and white. If that box isn't ticked, it's an absolute no-go. But then we're going to have like a would be nice to have box to tick, where it's not a make or break, but it's like a bonus point.
That I flagged beforehand that writing down on paper tick boxes might be slightly toxic.
I think it's just giving us clarity on what we're looking for in a partner.
Being Delulu toxic
No, it's
again.
not.
Sometimes making them tangible also makes them.
So I'll be our scribe.
You constantly make me battle between my bad bitch toxic hero and my psych hero. Okay, like.
All right. So one of my absolute non-negotiables,
I like how she took over the writing because she knows mine's trash.
Yours sucks, is financial stability.
Oh yeah, you know what? Same. Write that down for me.
Stability. And this doesn't necessarily this isn't saying I need a sugar daddy, they've got to be rich or anything. This
you need
means
to have your shit.
They need to be stable. They need to be not living pay to pay. They need to have a buffer of their savings. They need to be comfortable. They need to not be in this anxious state of, oh my God, I just missed paying my mortgage or my bills this week because I can't manage my incomings and outgoings. Like, you need to just,
and keeping in mind,
successfully adult in that department.
We're above 30. This is going to look different for a huge age gaps, but as you get older, it's honestly a big. I would be surprised.
My hands are so cold. My writing's also shit.
I'd be surprised if this wasn't a non-negotiable for a lot of people, because at the end of the day, the strain, and I've done this myself because I was not very financially stable at all when I was in my mid-20s. I was going through a lot.
Yeah.
And for a partner, for them to choose to be with me meant the stress, the inadequacy that I put on myself because I was a student, because I was struggling, also comes into the relationship. So that's not a non-negotiable for everybody, because I know for a fact I've been the financially unstable partner myself, but I also know because of who I am, if we were both financially unstable, the chaos it causes is immense.
And see, mine's more not because I'm financially stable, where I need someone to be able to meet me where I'm
financially stable I've ever been.
I agree. High five. But for me, especially, I have children. I am financially stable. I don't want the chaos of having to manage someone else's inadequacy in that department. I don't. I want them to be where I'm at, if not further ahead. That would be great, but at least where I'm at.
Yeah, I think for the person, it's so good because whenever we do these things, I always get the other side, because we are so different in so many ways, where I'm that person. And I know that my insecurity in that space, even when my partner's like, no, like I'll help, like I got you. I still, the insecurity that it breeds in me, it comes into the relationship. And it's something that I had to do myself before I think I can be in a happy relationship, because it's not fair on the other person. All right, next one.
Mine, go to the gym. For me, and this isn't me saying they have to be a bodybuilder, they've got to be jacked or anything like that, but they need to be into the gym, because that is such a big part of my life. I enjoy going to the gym with my partners. I want them to, when I'm prepping, have like a baseline knowledge there to be able to understand a little bit what I'm doing, be able to support me. I like the values that come and from going to the gym, the discipline, the routine.
To be honest, same. But at the end of the day, I didn't used to have that. I never used to have that. I honestly, so like I don't mind dating athletes, but athletes with their training regime, they're in the gym. It comes with a territory.
But see, I could do athlete.
Yeah, I've done.
Okay, go to the gym /. I mean,
No, we're not sports people.
No, I mean, gym's preference, but having physical activity and like that element, and not like even just the health aspect of it, like it's a huge part of who I am, and I like being able to share that with a partner.
Mine's, now that I'm as deep as I am, it was never a non-negotiable for me.
Now you just need someone who's got bigger biceps than you.
Unfortunately, yeah, mine's
is that a box
shallow,
for you?
as
bigger
shallow
biceps?
As it is.
Bigger biceps.
I have dated men who are smaller than me, and it is.
So is this a non-negotiable? Am I putting this on your list too?
Yeah, no, because I date women and they can be smaller than me. But non-negotiables for women are different than what they are for men.
See, mine still goes to the gym.
To be bigger than me, because I know that they're insecure about how big I am.
So men have to.
Women don't have to be
bigger,
but men do.
My writing's so bad.
Only because they're so insecure. I've seen it through and through. The moment that they're like, "Oh my god, you go to the gym, that's hot," and then we're in the gym and my veins are like fucking spaghetti arms and jacked, and they're like, "Oh," and like we're pushing just close to similar weight, or if not, I do more, and that the insecurity is strong.
For women, they don't have to look, but again, it's not a look. I don't have a looks thing either way. It's just a.
Okay, so our first few were like low key shallow, but mine is emotional intelligence. Big time. I've tried my absolute fucking hardest to make it. But
mine's on that as well.
I'm too complex. I have had a very complicated.
But what does that look like for you?
For me, it looks.
People listening, how do they know if they tick this box?
I feel like for people listening, ticking the box is listening. I don't need you to be as expert in this field as what I am, but you need to have a certain aspect about you with emotional intelligence that's willing to grow. It's the openness to actually be able to sit in this space and be able to broadly accept that emotions look very different on everyone else and make that a transferable skill. So the same as if you were going for a job as a support worker, do you have the ability to look at each individual person and understand that emotionally or behaviorally that will look different on everybody, and how you respond is not necessarily what's best for everybody else? I need that in a partner, because I am a complex person. You are not going to possibly understand me the first few times that you meet me, and you're not going to see. And even like with you as well, there's so many different triggers that you will have that will look different. You don't need to actually get it right every time, but you need to make sure that you can create safe space for people to move through their emotions. No, that's it. I waffled. You need to be able to create a safe space for people to move through their emotions. That's it.
Yeah.
You don't need to fix it. You don't need to even articulate it. You just need to be a safe place for that.
Another one on mine is accountability.
Yeah, I feel like we're really good at that.
I need a partner. Like it's where if I say, "Hey, you did this thing that hurt me," I need them to be able to say, "Okay, like I will own that I did this thing." Even if roles are reversed, they wouldn't be hurt. Even if they don't understand why I'm hurt, I need them to just be able to take accountability for behaviors, rather than just get defensive or tell me I shouldn't feel the way that I feel or anything like that. I need a degree of accountability.
Yeah. And I think that flows even with all the non-negotiables we have: financial stability, emotional intelligence, health, fitness, accountability flows into all of that.
Mm.
Oh, for me, intelligence. Yeah,
You do need that.
I need intelligence. I need somebody that I can connect with on a deeper level, and that usually just comes with intelligence, because I feel like it's like cocaine for my brain. My brain just is in a much safer space, and at the end of the day, the way that I connect is through complexity. And if you don't have a baseline of intelligence, it genuinely is almost impossible for you to understand me.
See, I don't need intelligence, to be honest. But this is where, would I date someone that was like, quote unquote, like dumb? No. But for me, like,
I don't know. I just met your exes.
no, but like, honestly, none of my exes are dumb. Like, you know, no, they're not. Like, I tend to gravitate more towards like hands-on kind of thing. Like, we're talking guys, like they're not actually dumb in their fields. Who are you referring to that's dumb? He's not dumb. He's not dumb.
I disagree completely.
No, like, look, do I think in areas of, you know, emotional intelligence, yes, there is a lack there of that, but actual just ability to hold conversations and be educated in their fields, that's not what dumb looks like to me. No, for me, like,
I think the
like,
main
I'm gonna
reason the
say
person
trade,
that I'm
for
talking about
example.
is you could walk into a room and most people, when this person is speaking, most people in this room will just sit back and look at this particular person
But
and
see,
go,
that's a Delulu version. You
have
didn't see
no
the
idea what
non-Delulu
is.
version.
Okay, fair. My subjective experience of this
Yeah,
individual
that's
is
fair.
condensed to like 3-4 years, whereas yours
Yeah.
is much longer.
Whereas, yeah,
But
he's
this
not dumb.
person now
Yeah, I can see how
represents
you.
that
Yeah,
category.
yeah. No, but for me, like, someone, for me to still have, like, I don't know, like, intelligence looks different for me. It's not just like, it's not academic. Okay, I'm gonna say it's not
Mine's not
academic.
academic either.
But that's probably what people are thinking.
No.
Whereas, like, for me,
So
like,
there's two types of intelligence. There's fluid and crystallized. Fluid intelligence has the ability with what you're talking about, with skills in their field, with you could be someone who's hands-on, who can figure things out, who can look at an item, a situation, a problem, and have lateral thinking in that space to be able to problem solve, and all of
I'm
that.
into that.
All of that.
That's me.
Yep. So that's fluid intelligence. It's very broad, but it's uh there's a word I'm looking for, can't remember it, but crystallized is more academic. It's more applied, linear structure to particular things.
See, I feel like I'm like that. I don't need a partner to be like that.
Yeah, you're right.
I
I'm not crystallized. I'm fluid. I'm a lateral thinker.
See, and because I'm not, I feel like there are certain areas where I value my partner having a different skill set to me that can think about things differently, because getting that different perspective and input, I feel like it helps me grow and think outside the box. And I feel like it's like a value add kind of scenario.
I think my perspective has recently changed with that. So I always gravitated towards people who were dissimilar to me to elevate me in ways that I couldn't. So with like
Depends what it is, though.
It's exactly right. So same with the crystallized intelligence, I always gravitate towards people like that, because I'm not like that. I can figure out things, and I'm quite broad with my intelligence. Whereas people who have specific like you, specific niches and things, you get in her field, I have no idea what the fuck she's talking about half the time. But at the same space, I used to think that I wanted that to try and elevate me in spaces that I need to raise in myself. But after recent experiences, I actually think that I need a balance. I need someone who is also in my space, because the disconnect between us is too great. And if you're already navigating how complicated relationships are, I don't also need to be navigating the complete divide with how we live each other's lives. Like, it's too much. I need a balance. I need them to be a little bit in my space and a little bit in their space, but I can't have them be the opposite of me anymore. It's
ambitious.
Yeah, because
and that looks different on everybody.
Because they just can't relate to why. So say, for example, with uni, I can't explain to my partner that even though I'm at home, if I get home, same with the gym. If I finish a 9-hour day at work, I'm going to the gym because I have to. But to other people, they're like, you don't have to do that. I'm like, I actually do though. And if I am going to uni and sacrificing my financial stability,
Yeah.
I can't explain that to people who aren't ambitious. I can't. They don't get it. They don't get the sacrifice for what I'm going for and why.
And see, for me, I think that's when I go into grind mode, mainly in like a business space, I need someone that understands, and because they're grinding as well, it kind of motivates me rather than feeling like I'm pulling them along behind me or feeling like there's undertones of resentment or jealousy. Even when I am successful, I feel like, whereas if I need to feel like they're genuinely cheering for me rather than almost it threatening their masculinity. Like, and I've only experienced that with males, to be fair.
I've experienced that with women.
With both?
Yes,
yeah.
I have. Where there's an
Because I haven't actually dated many women since I've been in my life phase now.
There's an undertone of, it's like reflecting on their own circumstances.
And bringing out those insecurities.
Just because of what you're doing.
Yeah.
Just because of you existing and what you're doing, it's not, and I'm very, very conscious in that space not to peacock in certain departments.
Showboat, but
yeah. But it happens.
And I just had another one on my mind and then I just dropped it.
For you, they actually need to love your kids. That's a non-negotiable.
Yeah, but you're not going to know, like, you're going to have to be so far deep into a relationship for them to be able to build that relationship. That's tricky to sort of have that as an initial tick and flick. But that's where I will put...
They need to know that your kids will always come first. Like,
I'll just put kids there because it's not... They need to have a degree of understanding. They might not necessarily have a relatability. Like, for me, I don't need to date somebody that already has children because, and I'm just going to throw this out there, but 99% of men, even if they have kids, will not understand my experience in that space. They won't, because chances are they haven't been ditched with the kids with 100% care. They haven't had to be pregnant. They haven't had to sit in that vulnerable place postpartum, let alone be abandoned in it. Like, they're not going to understand my experience in that space the same way I won't understand theirs. But I need them to never... And to be fair, like, I've dated people that haven't had kids and they've been able to tick this box, having an understanding enough that if I have to cancel because of the kids, there's no element of guilt or making me feel bad. Like, I need to be met with understanding and support because I need to want them, for me, to genuinely be the best mum I can be and understand my girls will always come before them. Always. So I'll just put kids as the dot because, having that, like, understanding there.
I feel like they're my baselines. There's all these other things that kind of layer, because I was thinking of, I was like, I need them to be adventurous but also I don't think
travel I think is a non-negotiable for you.
For me, I agree. Because I feel, so it's the same.
Because if I didn't have kids, it would honestly be one of mine, but I'm so handicapped to travel now that it's not an absolute deal breaker. Actually, to be fair, if I met someone and they said, I don't want to go overseas, I do want to travel.
It's the same ethos as the gym for me.
And I want them to be excited to do it, not I'll do it because you're into it.
Yeah.
I want them to match my excitement, to want to explore and see other cultures and countries. And
for me, it flows over to the same premise that I need with the gym and with ambition, because at the end of the day, like with savings at the moment, I'm saving up to go to Canada. I'm trying to go over to Malaysia so I can dive. If there's no excitement about travel, if there's no respect or if they don't love traveling,
that you're into
they don't understand the sacrifice that comes with trying to make that happen. So my day-to-day, I'm not going to get Louis Vuitton and designer shit. I'm not spending money on stuff like that on my day-to-day. I'm not doing lavish dinners all the time because I need to travel. And it's not even a want. I need to. It's the only thing that makes me feel truly grateful to be alive. I fucking love traveling. I love diving. And trying to explain to a partner that that's a priority of mine, that I'm going to sacrifice time, money, and potentially some space in our relationship so I can make that happen, is really difficult. Same with competing. How do I possibly
Yeah.
explain to someone who's not into the gym that there are going to be sacrifices on our relationship for me to do that? It's
Yeah.
selfish.
It is a selfish sport.
It is a selfish sport. But traveling to me is kind of the same, where it is selfish. That is something I want, but it's okay.
See,
for you
I
to be
see that differently because to me, travel's something that you can do together. Competing is solo.
True. Yeah, I agree.
Do you know what I mean? Whether they're prepping or not, but even then, it's still them solo, you solo. It is time,
Yeah,
energy, money for you, whereas travel is something that if they match that, you both get the joy out of it.
People think that about uni too.
Uni solo too.
Yeah. So it's an individual.
It is selfish and solo.
Yeah, yeah. I have to have people understand that those individual pursuits will also come first. But in saying that, I don't push my relationship aside so that they can happen. They always are linear to it.
I don't know. I think particularly with prep, the energy's got to come from somewhere. And does some come out of a relationship cup? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like you only have so much time and energy in the day, so it's got to come from somewhere. And I would rather pull it from a partner than my kids.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, but I agree. Like I feel like they're the main. To be honest, though, I actually think coming into the financial stability, I almost think having their own house is almost one for me.
In this economy, that is not one for me. I get it.
Only because and this is and I know that makes me sound a bit like a dick, like you have to own your own house. But it's honestly more that if I feel so bitter about how I got burnt in my property settlement when someone else's assets don't match my own.
Yeah.
So for me, if I end up building a life with someone where, you know, I don't even know if I'll ever even live with another partner again, but hypothetically, if I was to, you know, live with another partner again and actually merge my life with them, the idea that I'm coming in with a very unbalanced amount of assets freaks me out. That freaks me out. That makes me feel vulnerable and super unsafe.
I have a yellow non-negotiable. It's not a non-negotiable, but
actually a yellow. Okay, let's make these
ones
red.
that I'm adding.
Yellow. Yellow is I'm going to go house property.
You know what I realized?
/super.
They have to be a morning person now.
Morning person.
I fucking can't stand it. I've been in honestly, it never used to be, but I've been in relationships where
I don't know if I've ever dated someone that's not a morning person.
They wake up angry, and it is a fucking horrible way to start your day, especially when I put a lot of energy into making sure
Is that a thing? But I feel like people could be non-morning persons and not wake up angry.
It is a thing. It is an aura. It is an energy. Like yes, and it is a genuine I'm so sick of this day already.
But you're not overtly a morning person.
No, I'm not.
Because you're a ray of sunshine.
I'm not overly a morning person at all.
But see, but we don't clash, and I'm a morning person.
Yeah, no, okay, you can't hate mornings. I don't know how to. No, it's something.
I think it's more like you need to be able to regulate your fucking feelings.
Pretty much, yeah. That's
like I don't think it's a morning person or not because you're not a morning person.
Over. But
whereas I
know how to. So people who just fucking hate their life and complain about it. I'm not that girl. So I know a lot of people in the Gold Coast. Since I moved here that will just do the same shit every day and hate their life. And they're like, oh, but I have to do it because it's a paycheck. No, you fucking don't. You don't. I understand that there's like a small sacrifice if you're working towards something. If there's something you've got to do that's working towards it and there's a sacrifice. But if you wake up every single fucking day and you are working 8-9 hours of your life and you actually hate it, that is also on you. If you're doing that for a prolonged period of time, you're genuinely not trapped. I can't be with somebody who can't.
That's a non-negotiable for me, to be honest. That's up back in the red. But it's more like
they can't look at their lives and just fucking be like, I hate it. But
to me, that's the equivalent of people complaining, being like, I hate my weight, but then eating shit every day.
That's exactly it.
I have all of the space in the world for partners or friends to vent, share their feelings, but when we're doing it on loop and there's no action that backs it up, I do get a degree of irritability. And I found in a relationship,
Same.
I start to build resentment
Same.
at having to make space for them on repeat for something that they're not fixing.
So I think that's another red non-negotiable
Yeah,
for me.
it's back in the red for
They
me.
need to be proactive about their
That's
problems.
the word we're looking for, proactive.
Because
Yeah.
I've fucking come too far. I
Slash
work on
mitigating.
everything.
Do not, and this is one that I feel like I'm bitter about, but and
Yeah,
look,
same.
using Tommy as an example,
Yeah, same.
obviously, like, you know, he lost his foot when we were together and it was horrific, and that was outside of his control. But when people have the ability to mitigate by doing, you know, rehab and getting a prosthetic and doing the things that professionals are recommending to make the situation better, and you're actively choosing not to,
No, absolutely
whilst the thing is impacting your partner, no, that's a no for me.
I agree. It flows over too much into that accountability section
Yes.
as well. Because especially when you have kids and stuff, I become very unhappy in a relationship.
Oh, I just thought of another box for me.
Micromanaging people. If I have to start micromanaging your life to make sure that you're doing the bare minimum to be on top of your shit, I start to go into a mothering role. Oh, I thought of another non-negotiable.
Okay, well, I've put beliefs in mine. So this is going to be around, and this isn't me being like, oh, we've got to have the same religious beliefs. I'm not. Religion, that's cool. But it's more around women, sexuality, inclusivity, all of those things. There are certain beliefs that we have, like, if yours is different to mine, I feel like fundamentally as human beings, we are too different.
They need to align.
Where I cannot wrap my brain around it, because there are certain beliefs, and this is going to sound judgy, but there are certain beliefs that make me think less of you as a person, and I feel like it circles back into the emotional intelligence space, where I will think that your view is too narrow-minded or...
So, say, for example, a good example for me, I work in crime. If you and I were to sit at the table and you were to turn around and tell me, yeah, well, people who commit crime should actually just die because they're making the population a worse population, and that would be how we resolve that, we genuinely wouldn't work. So even though I'm really good at educating people, there are some fundamental baselines that I need in order for us to even have the conversation. And even just that emotional intelligence, the intelligence, the willingness to learn.